Hey guys, welcome to Solo ReacTalk. Today is Warcraft Monday and I'm going to be reacting to a PlatinumWoW World of Warcraft video. Well, it's not on his main channel, it's on the World of Warcraft channel. I've been advised that I should react to PlatinumWoW's videos on the World of Warcraft YouTube channel. And I also saw some cinematics for the Dragonflight installment of World of Warcraft, and I'm not sure when exactly am I going to react to them. Probably when all the cinematics are in, and then I will react to them as a package, you know, like how I used to do with World of Warcraft cinematics and trailers reactions. Yes, I'm going to be doing it like that so I can add it to that playlist. So with those cinematics, you know, I will wait until they're complete, and until then I think I will continue with PlatinumWoW's World of Warcraft videos pertaining to Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Yes. So this one is called Giant Ripped Barbarians Vrykul Lore Lore with PlatinumWoW Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Yes, the Vrykul. I can't pronounce the name. I'm sorry, guys. Yes. I think they are the ancestors of humanity, if I'm not mistaken. And they are giants, you know, just like as the title says here, giant ripped barbarians. Yeah, so I know that they are the ancestors of humanity, but nothing much after that or before that. Yeah, okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
In World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic, you'll face dozens of different dangerous, strange, and horrific monsters on your journey through Northrend.
It's good to hear his voice again. I haven't heard from PlatinumWoW for, what is it now, 4 or 5 weeks or so? Yeah, it's been a long time, so it's good to hear from him.
One of the first is the barbaric Vrykul, who have an extensive history and a wide variety of lore you'll need to know about. So let me explain the lore. I'm PlatinumWoW, and here's my interpretation of all of the Vrykul factions, their relationship with the Lich King, and how us humans evolved from their tale. It all starts in the very early history of Azeroth, 15,000 years ago. The Titan Keepers of the world had imprisoned all of the old gods and were shaping the world as they saw fit. To help in this process, they created new Titanforged, a wide variety of sentient creatures of stone and metal who were basically their servants. The Vrykul were one of these servants, but the old god Yogg-Saron, imprisoned within Ulduar, did some sneaky little mind manipulation on one of the keepers, who accidentally spread an affliction called the Curse of Flesh to make the Titanforged easily corruptible. The Vrykul's once hardened metallic form slowly became brittle, weak, and fleshy. All of the Titanforged were now currently going through an existential crisis as the curse spread amongst them. They tried desperately to find some sort of natural cure to their ailment. Maybe, rub some Frost Lotus on it? No. Shovel tusk meat? No. Maybe, rub a penguin on it? I don't know. You know.
Where are the Titans in all of this? They should be here to assist their creations in trying to find a cure. Where are they? Or have they left Azeroth, you know, long gone, and, you know, they've gone to deal with their own other, you know, personal responsibilities, and, you know, they just trust that their creations can fix whatever problems they may face. Huh. Such confidence. Okay.
It's useless. Okay, with their early history out of the way, let's get into some of the Vrykul sub-factions. Centuries passed, and the cursed Vrykul had run out of options. Priests and priestesses decided to reach into the depths of the spirit world, where maybe they could find an answer to their ailment.
Did they have magic? Did the Vrykul have magic as well? I thought, you know, anything that has to deal with spiritual energies or magic would mainly be centered around the trolls and then, of course, the night elves, you know. I thought that, you know, during those times when Azeroth was still young and was still a supercontinent. You know, those who held magic were the trolls and were the night elves, and of course the dragon blue aspect that hold magic. You know, so yeah, this is quite interesting that they could actually access the spirit realm to seek guidance on how to cure their affliction from mortal flesh. Yeah.
But instead, they kind of damn themselves to eternal torment.
So kind of you to deliver your souls to me. It will save my Valkyr the trouble of fetching them from the surface world. Come, mortals. You have earned an eternity of torment.
Instead, they had called forth Helya, the Sea Witch and the Mother of the Underworld. She further corrupted these Vrykul and transformed them into the Kvaldir. These cursed sailors are fearsome Vrykul spirits, who you'll find all across the coastlines of Northrend and...
Interesting, okay. Alright. Kvaldir. Cursed. Alright. Vrykul. Clan.
roam the seas in a dense fog and drag down all who they come across into the depths of Helheim.
Okay, so it's not all the Vrykul who have been transformed into these cursed Kvaldir. It's only those who were able to access into the spirit realm. Okay.
But thankfully not all Vrykul accidentally damn themselves to eternal torment. Some learn to adapt to their new fleshy bodies to the best of their ability, like the Dragonflayer clan, who...
The Dragonflayer clan, alright. They kind of look like Valerians. Sorry guys, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon really is still, permeating inside my mind. So anytime I see a character with a dragon, then I'm just thinking they're Valerians, from A Song of Ice and Fire. But yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. So proto-dragons can be controlled or tamed and be used as mounts, because that's what I'm assuming these dragons are to the Vrykul. They're like mounts, right?
Learn to master the art of taming proto-dragons. The Dragonflayers use their newfound companions to drive out their mortal enemy called the Jalgar, a race of humanoid bear people. The Jalgar fled from the northern reaches of Kalimdor all the way down to the center of the continent, and these bear people would later turn into the Furbolgs we know today. Anyways, back to the Vrykul. They celebrated their victory over the Jalgar, but soon after, an even more disruptive threat would plague them from within.
Good tidings. Hi.
Somehow, the curse of flesh had developed even further, and all of a sudden, they started giving birth to malformed, tiny babies.
They're so cute though, compared to like how the Vrykul look like, giants, and then the human beings are these puny things. It's so cute.
The Vrykul were incredibly confused and deeply divided on what to do with their weird new children. It was either accept them into their society and have them be, proto-dragon caretakers?
A duck walked into an apothecary and he said, "Give me some chapstick and put it on my bed."
Or they could just kill them all and maintain the Vrykul bloodline of being giant ripped barbarians. King Yimmeron, leader of the Dragonflayer clan, chose the latter option. He believed...
But, if you kill them all, right, it doesn't mean that more of them are not going to be born. And your population will dwindle. And as far as I can tell, you guys are not immortal. You are mortal now, and you can die of natural causes, no matter how, tall you guys are and ripped and and strong, I think you guys can still die. So, you know, you need to continue on your species. Yes, they will not be the same, but they will still be part of your clan, part of your people. They'll continue on your culture, your identity, and all that stuff. So, you know, killing them is just not going to help anything, because I think this is now permanent. I don't think any other Vrykul children are going to be born, you know, in the traditional way, you know, the traditional sense, like, you know, being not barbarians, but being giants. Yeah, I don't think that's going to continue right now. So, yeah, don't kill them. They're your children. They are your children.
That the curse of flesh and their weird babies were because the keepers had abandoned them to this curse. That wasn't true, but, you know, the Vrykul really didn't know any better. By the king's orders, all worship of the Titans would be outlawed, and the sickly kin were ordered to be executed. Obviously, not all the Vrykul were willing to kill their own flesh and blood, even if they looked, weird.
Why does that guy look so high? Oh gosh.
Instead, a select few Vrykul took their children far, far away to a land only known in legend called Tears Fall, which you probably know as the zone Tears Fall Glades. The Vrykul living there would raise their young in peace, and these runts would later evolve into the humans we know today.
Yeah, but why did they look high? You know, why did they look like that? Or maybe that's just how PlatinumWoW interprets, you know, the proto-humans. You know, before they became the humanity that we know of today in modern World of Warcraft. Before, you know, they kinda weren't really there yet. They were just a loaf, if I can say that. Okay.
Back in Northern Kalimdor, even if they killed all the weird-looking babies, they were still making weird-looking babies.
How does a Tauren hide in a cherry tree? He paints his hooves red.
So, in an effort to halt the curse of flesh, King Yimiron and the rest of the Vrykul went into a deep hibernation.
That doesn't solve anything, because the curse is still with you, and will be with you and your subjects and your wives and everybody else. It'll still be with you. So even if you freeze, this is just a stopgap motion, you know, because once you've unfrozen yourselves and you try to make children again, they're going to be coming out like proto-humans again. So this is not helping.
Not even the sundering of the world woke them up from their slumber, and they'd remain that way all the way until just before Wrath of the Lich King, 15,000 years later. And yeah, going into hibernation did not help at all with their curse of flesh problems, and now there was roaming bands of undead monstrosities wandering all across Northrend. The Vrykul believed that the Lich King was the god of death, and pledged themselves to him. It was either that or get eaten by ghouls, so, you know, they didn't really have an option. King Yimiron and the rest of the Dragonflayers returned to their fortress called Utgard Keep, and relentlessly fight against the Alliance and Horde as allies of the Scourge. Now, you'll mainly find the Dragonflayers in the zone Howling Fjord, but there's a variety of other Vrykul clans all across Northrend, like the ones in the snowy peaks of Storm Peaks. Here in Brunhildar Village, there is a small faction of Frost Vrykul who are loyal to the Titan Keeper Thorim, who resides
in the mountains.
This matriarchal society of Vrykul are called the Heilnir, who are a
okay, wait, let me just write that down. Heilnir. Okay.
ferocious band of warriors. They have an event called Heidel's Meet, where they compete against each other in brutal hand-to-hand combat, mounted bear brawls, and even skirmishes on the backs of proto-drakes. Oh, and punting penguin competitions. Okay, that last one isn't true, but the winner gets the rule by Thorim himself.
In the mountains.
These are the only Vrykul in all of Northrend who aren't working with the Lich King, or ghostly seafaring pirates. But they still aren't the most pleasant bunch of barbarians, because they do kidnap and enslave any and all males and force them to work to death in their mines. But, Lesser of two evils, I guess, right? The mortal enemies of the Heilnir are a small group called the Valkyron.
Valkyron. Okay. Valkyron.
Now, the Valkyron is another group of female Frost Vrykul who pledge their loyalty to the Lich King and work tirelessly to create blighted proto-drakes in their breeding pools. They seek to prove their worth to the Scourge so that one day they could be transformed into Valkyr. Now there's one last group of Vrykul located in Icecrown, who are easily my favorite ones in all of Northrend. The Myrdin and the
Okay, alright. Myrdin and Jotunheim. Okay.
Jotunheim clans have willingly submitted themselves to be enhanced by the Lich King. In order to be granted with such strength, living warriors travel to Jotunheim and fight in epic one-on-one battles with their fellow Vrykul.
No mercy.
The victors of the battle are empowered with the strength of the Lich King as scourge weapons of warfare. And the losers are corrupted into sickly undead drones called the Vargul. But who cares about these losers? The victors then travel to Ymirheim, a significant place in Vrykul culture, and these champions become an elite caste of warriors called the Ymirjar, who are
Ymirjar. Huh. There's so many factions of the Vrykul. You know? So many.
are one of the most dangerous forces at the Lich King's disposal. And I said one of, because the wide variety of dragon-riding, seafaring, and scourge-worshipping Vrykul are just a small handful of enemies you'll be facing in Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Okay guys, that was Giant Ripped Barbarians Vrykul lore with PlatinumWoW Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Yeah, the Vrykul, they have so many clans, so many clans, so many factions. However, all of these factions are enemies. You know, I don't think you can negotiate with any one of them, you know, for a peace settlement or to work together to defeat the Lich King or anyone else on Northrend. You know, whether you're part of the Alliance or the Horde, it seems that these guys are just going to be your enemy, especially for humanity, you know, because these are their ancestors. You know, they come from these people, and I wonder how does it feel for them to be killing their ancestors, killing their bloodline, their kin. You know, I can see with the Vrykul, they have no qualms in destroying their offspring. They have no qualms, you know, they just see them as an abomination, as a blight, you know, as a mistake, as cursed, beings. And, you know, they have no qualms in eradicating humanity, it seems. But yeah, their story is a bit sad, you know, how they became this way. You know, they never wanted this. This was, a curse that was brought upon them by an old god. And, you know, things have just gone from bad to worse for them. You know, even if they've achieved some great feats like, you know, riding on proto-dragons, using them as mounts for war, and, you know, kicking out their enemies out of their territory. And yeah, they have had some successes, but, you know, it matters not if they're not able to adapt to the reality that they were facing. You know, they were creating humans, and they could not accept that. They could not accept that these children are the future of their race. And, you know, they tried their best to try and preserve who they are and what they look like, as giants, and they tried all manners of things, either spiritual guidance or using herbal medicines. It just didn't work, and they just couldn't accept, and now they're trapped. And yeah, guys, I guess that's it for today with PlatinumWoW. Giant ripped Barbarians, Vrykul lore with PlatinumWoW, Wrath of the Lich King Classic. If you want to check out that original video as well as PlatinumWoW's YouTube channel, the links are in the description below. If you like my reaction, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and I'll see you guys next week Monday. Okay, bye bye.